Hello everyone, and welcome to Shadowgate. Steve, the scruffy-looking cat herder here, playing games with his cats, for his cats, and for all you cats out there watching. And if you enjoy the video, then please like and subscribe, and thank you. And yes, here we are, Shadowgate, part of little October Spook Fest. Is it spooky? I don't know. Maybe. It's a dark fantasy. Wizards, demons, murder, betrayal, ominous foreboding score. It's good. This is a remake of a classic game, originally released in 1987 for the Macintosh as part of the MacVenture series, and subsequently ported to the Nintendo Entertainment System a couple of years later in 1989, which is the version I was familiar with and first played. A lot. It was one of the first games I had, and I just remember staying up late trying to figure out the puzzles in the dark, and yeah, it's kind of creepy and fun for a small child. And yeah, a few years ago, 2012, I think they started. The original designers came back with a Kickstarter to do a remake, released it in 2015, and I have to say that it delivers. It's, yeah, a wonderful remake of the original, much the same, and just much, much better. So, yeah, so let's get into it here. We'll start a new game. We have some options here as to choose our experience, normal or classic. I'd have to come back here. I think normal for players new to first-person adventures does not require deep knowledge of the Shadowgate universe. That would be modeled after the original Shadowgate experience. Much the same puzzles and all. If you know Shadowgate, you can find your way through this pretty easily. If we come over to Classic, it's for players familiar with Shadowgate and first-person adventure games in general. We'll take this route. And then we have more options. The puzzles have changed slightly. Pretty sure the layout remains the same of Castle Shadowgate, but the puzzles have changed. And there are varying degrees of difficulty: Apprentice, Journeyman, or Master. Yeah, I was wrestling with which path to go through, whether to play the original and compare it to the classic game, or to go through the new mode, which would be kind of blind for me, because I don't think I completed playthrough classic or normal, whichever one we're in here. So that could be fun. I didn't really want to spoil it too much. And as far as Apprentice or Journeyman goes, Journeyman would be for seasoned adventurers. Gameplay is more challenging, provides shortened time limits, limited hints, and more opportunities to die. I might just leave it at Apprentice for this playthrough. Probably minimize the derping around, and until winter sets in, I'm just kind of having fun with some lighter, looser games anyway. No need to go taxing myself too much. So yeah, we'll go with Apprentice. And there was an Iron Man mode, which I guess would disable saving. No thanks. Besides the long game, we won't get through it all in one part anyway. So, yeah, preliminaries and everything being out of the way here, let's go and enter Castle Shadowgate.
A hero's journey? A great quest? Certainly it shall be these things. But for you, young Jer Cuthager, soldier of Windermere, could it not be so much more? In dreams, I have come to you, beseeching, entreating. Ride south, boy. Take naught but a dirk, a torch, courage. Ride south from Rivellin, around the southern arm, through the Waven Fair Wood, past Myrithath, beyond the citadel of Murlak Tor, and the spires of Gimdane, and the darkness of Tarketh's Pass. There you shall find my stone in wait. Under the shade of the mountain range, none have entered, either on foot, on mount, on wing. Gatekeeper, the oldest of spires, it harbors that which has been spoken of in whispers and ascribed to legend. Shadowgate, the living castle. But all is not as it should be. One of our own is now our great bane, a blight upon us. He has brought the ancient keep low, and it now lies fallow. It is there that you will find me, Blackmere of the Circle of 12. It is there that you will find this great quest. It is there that you will find yourself.
We have some game tips here, and yeah, I got goosebumps after that cutscene. It was gorgeous. Love the artwork. The soundtrack's amazing. Redone of the original score. This game's good. So, game tips. Welcome to the tutorial. Gameplay tips will appear at appropriate times. Teach the mechanics of the game. You can turn these tips on or off or change the command system at any time. Yeah. Okay. And yeah, we have a command menu. Click on item and action wheel. Here's around it. And we can select our actions. Look, hit, grab. Unlock, use, speak, move, defend. Oh, that's equipment. Okay, we have a text dialog box at the bottom. And yeah, the end of the conversation here. You will find yourself with Blackmere's words echoing about your head. You stumble a bit until the world ceases its lurching. You stand before the Gatekeeper Mountain, an ornate door framed by a series of skulls is fashioned into the rock wall. Okay, and we can expand that in the box there. This actually have an inventory menu up here. So that's settings. Okay, those are our settings. This our inventory. That's our inventory. And yes, objects are sorted into 4 sections. Spells are in the spells section. Books go in the archive. Clothing in the outfits. Items in the items. You have a sword. The rusted and pitted dirk looks as if it's seen better days. Nothing in our archive, no outfits, no spells. We ready with that? Oh, it says use the dirk on what? Never mind. Well, we'll just start the game here. Do a quick save. Half the fun of this game is in dying. We use the dark on ourselves right from the start. After a pause, you rethink your suicidal thoughts. Alright, we won't let that happen. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. We do have a cheat key for point and click adventures here. Press F2, yes. F2, it'll highlight things that we can click on. Don't really have to pixel hunt. Look at the doorway. Gazing at the etchings upon the skull's forehead, your vision momentarily fades. There was something strangely hypnotic about the thing. Right? Here. Oops. Thick green roots twist through the dense foliage. This. A faint glow forms within the eye sockets of the bleached skull. You jump as the lower jaw rattles. Come on, boy. I haven't got all day. Pick me up. We can talk to it. You ask the skull if it is, in fact, talking to you. That's right, boy, the thing replies. The name's York. Now pick me up and take me with you. There's something underneath me that's not so comfortable. A rather irritated voice emanates from the skull on the ground. About time you got here. Pick me up and let's start this quest of yours. Right? I'll go and grab him. You nearly drop the skull when it begins to speak. About time, boy. You have no idea how long I've been here. You can call me York. I have no recollection of how I got here, but I do know plenty about this castle. If you need help on this quest of yours, just speak to me and I'll give you a hint. Yeah. And he's up here in the corner. You talk to him. As you begin speaking to York, he interrupts. You better be sure you want my advice before you speak to me again, because I'll be giving hints next. Okay. That door is locked. You need to find the correct key and use it to unlock the door. Which, this key that was hidden underneath you. We could pick it up and put it in our inventory, which we did. I was just going to use it directly. Oops, that's the wrench icon. So we'll go the long way. Inventory, use, door. Okay, you turn the key, unlocking the door. After a moment, you toss the key aside. It's telling us how to open and close doors there. We can figure that out. The door opens with an eerie crack. Now we can use the go command to go through it. Or double click.
Blackmere was a fool to send a child to do that which even the vaunted Circle of 12 could not. Contain my growing power. Come if you wish. It makes little difference. Seal your fate within this living castle of the dead.
Alright, how to use things. And without warning, a pair of glowing eyes fill the chamber and a dark voice invades your mind. Then we get the dialogue there. The apparition fades, leaving a trail of cold air behind it. Right. So yes, we have some stuff in this room. That on the ground. This circular hatch is made of a strange stone set securely within a mortared base. A low hum of power emanates from within. The hatch will not open. It seems to be magically sealed. Right? There's a lever here. An ancient wooden lever protrudes from an iron plate set in the floor. And yes, if you're not familiar with Shadowgate, we have torches on the wall. There's a torch in the corner. Our torch burns out over time. If our torch ever burns out and we're left in the dark, we will perish. So we want to take these torches and put them into our inventory. Very important. What else do we have in the room here? A door, something here. It is difficult to tell if this sling has seen battle or was simply used by a shepherd to keep his flock safe. We'll take a sling. There's a rug. The pattern on this once fine rug has been dulled by time. Its edges have become frayed and torn. Now, this was one of the puzzles that I remember frustrating me as a child in the original. I had to burn a rug somewhere in Castle Shadowgate to find a key. So we're going to burn the rug and tapestries and paintings and anything else flammable that we come across, just in case. Okay? Okay. And I think we're pretty good in here. Going to open the door. A strange pattern, unlike anything you have seen before, is carved into the solid iron door. The door is locked. Right? What if we use this lever here? The lever moves under the force of your blow. In response, a stone section slides away from the wall, revealing an opening that holds a key. Right? I'm going to use the key on the door. Yes. You struggle with both hands to turn the key in the stubborn lock. A satisfying click echoes through the chamber as you toss the key aside. Good, so the door's open. And if you don't like the action wheel, it does have standard hotkey features too, like O is open, H is hit, T is take, things like that. They're in the menu here. Keybinds, yeah, look, take, use, go. Most of them are all the first letter. Spells are P, outfits F, and then quick saves, quick loads. Oh, and there's a map, right? Something we didn't have in the original. Has a nice map to it too. Reading your map. Click and drag to move around the map. Use plus and minus. Okay, pretty basic map instructions. Scroll in and out. We're currently in the antechamber and the entrance. Haven't seen much so far. So. And different areas. All we have so far are the caves. But yes, a very nice map. Well, let's go through the store. Open it. Oh, there's the tip to tell us that we have a map. Thank you. And the back arrow. You can go to the room directly behind us in the lower right corner there. Okay, saving and loading a game. So, yeah, quick saves, quick loads, save. Just a reminder to save often. And we can learn spells. So first open the book or scroll and then look at it to read it. Every spell does something different and will only work when cast on certain items or in certain places. Yes, spell use is very specific in these games. Very scripted. And yeah, so use it like items basically. Alright, lots of stuff in this room. And yeah, we'll save. Alright, so we have an altar with a book upon it, scroll on the floor, a body on the floor, a couple of torches on the wall. Or start with the torches. Alright. You, sir. Who are you? Giving the skeleton a quick once-over, you find no obvious cause of death. You do, however, have a bad feeling about this. Open the body. You pat down the corpse. Your rough handling produces a piece of parchment and a scroll, which you put in your pack. Nice. There's another scroll here. Scrolled up parchment is secured with a dab of candle wax. Right. We'll take that and look in the archives here. See what we have. You read the hastily scrawled writing on the parchment. Since it is the only means to capture and control the elements, you must hide the silver orb beyond the waters of the sewer. Okay, so there's a clue. Silver orb in the sewers. You open the scroll and then read them. You read the message scrawled on the page. Brown, I have your dog. If you wish to see the flying ace again, then bring the 3 pumpkins to the place beyond the harvest door. But be wary, for only one outfitted in a mask for the hallowed eve can gain entrance. There you must carve my visage and illuminate the sacrifices in the field of jack-o'-lanterns. Then I will be freed. This will all end. Cordially, DP. Alright, I forgot about that. There's a little bit of a Halloween-y Easter egg in here. So, cool. Oops. Yeah, it's rolled up. We have to open the scroll, and then we can read the scroll. That's a little annoying. You read the message scrawled on the scroll. Fandral, this missive is of utmost importance. We must coordinate our efforts. Seek my obelisk in the acolyte den below the sewers. I fear the worst is upon us, but I have plans in motion that may yet avert the disaster. It is signed with the name Blackmere. Okay, well, there's all our scrolls. Altar here. Strange markings and glyphs line the stone pillar that enshrouds this statue, one that depicts a hooded figure with a darkened visage. Time for another save. Let's have a look at that book. The old, musty smell emanating from this book hints at its age. Okay. We take the book. As you begin lifting the book, the earth rumbles beneath your feet in a disconcerting way. You leave the book where it is. Since this seems like a trap, if you really want to go through with this, then feel free to try that again. Oh, curse you, game. They give you a warning. This was the first trap in the original. You come across a book, and if you just happen to Pick the book up, which we're going to do again. As you lift the tome from the altar, the earth rumbles beneath your feet. In an instant, the rock floor gives way, sending you tumbling down a long vertical shaft. While the abrupt impact from the landing doesn't kill you, 10 tons of stone from the broken floor finish the job.
'Tis a sad thing that your adventures have ended here.
And that was worth it to show off the wonderful Grim Reaper artwork there. So let's resume that. And I think there are like 2 or 3 different Grims they have. So pretty cool. I'm sure we'll see him more and more. All right, so this time we won't take the book. Let's just open the book and give it a read. Strange markings and glyphs line the stone pillar that enshrouds the statue, one that depicts a hooded figure with a darkened visage. No, we read the book. There we go. You scan the ancient manuscript, noticing most of the language is unintelligible. However, one particular word stands out from the rest. Invocan. In your mind's eye, you see a glyph glowing with power and quickly write down the strange marking in your spellbook. You have learned a spell. Yippee. And if we pull up our spell menu, you can actually have a look at the spell. The translation of this spell glyph is Invocan. Your mind glimpses some spectral person at the edge of your consciousness. And the spells will give you descriptions as to their usages. Anything else lying about in this room? Rock in the wall. Fissures and fractures run along the edges of this section of the stone wall. Let's head this way first. Down the hallway. Will you just move, please? Thank you. Searching and looting. You can search and loot various objects in the game by selecting the object and selecting open or use. Searchable objects include corpses, desks, bags, chests, etc. That's like I had done on the body in the previous room. And if you want to see which objects in a room are interactable, use the Show Objects key by F2 by default, and the objects will pulse. So yeah, the cheat key. Played plenty of games where you had to just pan around and see what would... So yeah, it's nice. We have a little pouch on the ground here. This hand-stitched sack is made from the hide of an animal. Which animal, however, is uncertain. What's in the sack? You rummage through the sack, finding dice and a scroll. Taking these, you then discard the sack. Now we have another scroll to read. Tear the paper slightly as you unroll the parchment. While the writing is difficult to discern, you manage to glean a few key phrases. The danger is real. Alert the surrounding lands. Seal off the passages into the Gatekeeper Mountains. The wax seal shows an eagle in flight. It is signed by someone named Fandrill. What else we got here? Have this body. Anything on this body? You search amongst the bones of the skeleton, but find nothing that interests you. Oh, thanks. This cluster of bones is still mostly intact. Dried sinews and muscles hold it together. And 3 doors. To the left. It's a grunt. You push the door open. Ah, the text box was still up. I seem to remember that this castle was more hospitable once upon a time, Yorick says in indignation. And it goes through keybinds, which I showed off already. Right. Within a large cavern, you find yourself on the shore of a placid underground lake. Yeah, we don't really need to be over this way yet. So it's hard to tell from this distance, but you think you see a skeleton chained to a rock. Perhaps you need to get a closer look. Somehow. Travel there. As you put your toe in the water, something huge underneath the surface stirs. Sufficiently cowed, you rethink your action. Deciding caution is a better strategy. Okay. Oh, anything else in here? Nope, just a stairwell. A magnificent waterfall cascades from the mouth of an ancient stone statue, painstakingly carved into the cavern wall. Below it, an undulating mass of water hovers playfully above the river. Hovering before you is an entity made entirely of water and mist. The liquid elemental continuously forms and reforms in a hypnotic way. Guess we have nothing to do up here yet. Let's take another passage. We open the door on the right. Yes. Or left, rather. Left, right. Double tap a command key button to lock it. And the command multiple times without reselecting it. Oh, okay. Forgot about that. You can also double click on objects to look at them and unlock doors to open them and go through them. Okay. Yeah, that'll be a little more convenient. We have another. Teeth chattering, you stand within the cold cellar, hugging yourself for warmth. A creature made of ice hovers playfully on the far side of the room. A strange entity made entirely of solid ice and cold vapor hovers about the room in front of you. I see a torch we can grab. What's this? A frozen mass, perhaps that of a masked arachnid, is encased in a thick layer of ice. You shake your head, wondering what the thing is and how it got into its predicament. And this thing? A long white object is frozen inside this piece of ice. Can we melt the ice? Looks like our torch is getting a little low, too. You bring the lit torch close to the ice. It takes a few moments, but eventually the ice melts away, revealing a scroll hidden within. Oh, there's the scroll. Nothing to read. As you scan the scroll, one particular word almost seems to jump out at you. Agat. In your mind's eye, you see a glyph glowing with power and quickly write down the strange marking in your spellbook. Before the scroll crumbles in your hands, you realize that you have learned a spell. Cool. Another spell. Agat. The spell glyph translates to the word Agat. You sense a huge weight, like a stone, opening itself to some mystery deal. Through this door. I don't think we can thaw out the spider. Can we thaw out the spider? The flame is much too small to melt the ice and free the creature. And here's how we equip items. Notice the shield on the ground. This is an object you can equip. Equip objects by selecting them and then selecting the equipped shield icon. Equipped objects can be seen on thyself, the portrait icon in the upper right of the screen, as well as in your inventory. And you can unequip them the same way. The smell of brimstone rises within this chamber as a pair of glowing eyes watch your every move from an opening in the far wall. The torch's flame momentarily flickers. So yeah, an important tip there. You do want to grab and equip the shield immediately. You lash the iron shield securely to your forearm. The dragon notices you, moves its ponderous weight, and begins gathering a breath. And we have some more items in the room. Some gold melted on the floor, looks like. You have often wondered why dragons hoard gold. Looking at this pile of melted metal offers no answers. And we have another helmet, or another piece of equipment, a helmet that we can equip. You place the small helm on your head. The fit is a bit snug. With a roar, the ancient beast releases a scorching stream of fire at you. You raise your iron shield just in time to block the dragon's flame, dispersing it harmlessly to either side of you. And we also have a spear and a hammer. I think we need to worry about the bones. Let's test our luck here. Take the spear, put the spear into your satchel. Gathering another breath, the dragon releases a superheated stream of fire at you. You lift your iron shield and once again block the fiery flame, although this time you can actually feel the heat. How does that go? Out of the fire and into the dragon's den? Yorick offers helpfully. Alright, and can we take this as well? Take the hammer. The ancient dragon shifts its weight and fires a blast of scorching flame right at you. You barely manage to raise your shield in time to block the dragon's flame. While the shield protects you, it glows red hot. And that may be our cue to exit. We've got everything. We'll leave the dragon there. You manage to rush from the room before the dragon can release a blast of fire. Alright, back into the cold room here. It's called the cellar, next to the dragon's nest. Let's go back to the other room. And the third door here. Open. With a creak of protest, the door opens. With stone tombs lining the walls of this musty crypt, there is an ancient, almost reverent air to this place. More torches. Unlike other torches you have seen in these caves, this torch is welded into a bracket. Yorick shakes his head. Boy, you'd be paying attention to that failing torch if you're holding. That failing torch you're holding. If I might give you some advice, make sure you have enough unlit ones to light before it goes out. Yeah. Use a torch. Thank you, Yorick. Much brighter now. Okay. And what's in this room? Large sarcophagus in the middle. The figure carved on the lid of this tomb has a mischievous feral look to it. It is holding one upside-down torch. Open it. You try to open the crypt. However, it is fused shut. The crypts and torches. Open it. When you open the tomb, a horrific creature is released, letting out a piercing cry that cuts into your very being. Okay, and then this message. Time is running out. Well, you've seen the visage of the Warlock Lord, and now you have been cursed. Both of these things are time limits in the game. It is important both to cure yourself before you die and to stop the Warlock Lord before he destroys the world. And playing with fire. Some objects in this game are flammable. Set an object on fire by selecting your current torch, then use it on the object. Yes, went over that already as well. So that. A round orange item sits just inside the tomb. As you grasp the large orange thing, it becomes painfully clear that it is a pumpkin. Vision clears and the episode passes. Whoa, that was intense. Banshee, let's see. Yes, and when we open the tomb, a horrific creature is released, letting out a piercing cry that cuts into your very being. It's a banshee, harbinger of death and disease. You feel a momentary stabbing pain before the specter winks out of existence. So yeah, there's a secondary objective. We have to cure the curse that has now been placed upon us. And here we have... These remains are wrapped in very old linen cloths. You are surprised that you can still smell the nauseating odor of embalming fluid. Did have a handy game hint to use the torch on things. The ancient wrappings quickly go up in flames. As the mummy is consumed, a sword falls out. Nice. Oh, well, we can't equip it, but take it. Should have looked at it. This long sword is ornately carved and of excellent craftsmanship. However, the blade looks dulled by age. The lid slides open with a grating moan. Anything? No, but we can set another body on fire here. The ancient wrappings quickly go up in flames. As the mummy burns, a shield and a mask are revealed. The horrible visage of this wooden mask resembles a witch from a children's tale. And we can equip it. You take stock of yourself, concerned about the stabbing pains in your stomach and the spreading green pallor of your skin. However, the iron shield strapped across your arm gives you some measure of comfort. Okay, we have another shield. This hefty wooden shield has withstood the years well. You may as well take that. And open the next crypt. The lid slides open with an eerie creak. The ancient wrappings are so dry that they almost disintegrate in the flames. As it burns, a scroll trembles to the floor, yet having escaped the fire. Take it. Take the scroll. Alright, scroll. Obelisks. Now there is something I would look for if I were you. Wizards love them, Yorick says. Right. A drawing of 6 rectangular shapes are drawn on the parchment. Several lines point to the shapes with writing underneath. You read 2 of the notations. This mirror leads through the furnace and into the castle beyond, and these mirrors require power to activate and will teleport to places strewn across the castle domains. 6 rectangular shapes on the parchment. Several lines point to the shapes with writing underneath. Okay, well, keep that in mind. And one more crypt. The lid opens with an eerie creak. Use the torch. See, as the ancient wrappings go up in flames, an amazing gold scepter and leather sack fall to the ground. An ancient symbol showing 2 griffins locked in deadly combat is crafted onto this gem-encrusted scepter. I'll take that for some purpose. And this satchel. You rummage through the thick burlap and find a scroll and a gear. You take these while discarding the sack. Another scroll. The handwritten scroll was faded and difficult to read, but you can make out one passage. When Maja's tail lights the northern skies and the alignments are in harmony, then shall you take the circle runes of water and fire and the all-seeing eye and place them with the great eagle that sits on the one tree. Wait, more puzzle clues hidden in scrolls. Alright. We couldn't take the torches, but hit the torch with a mighty punch. Unfortunately, you only succeed in hurting your hand. Well, use it then. You are unable to pull the torch from the wall since it's welded into place. That one. That one. No. Great. Well, good. One of the first altered puzzles. The original pulling a thing would open the crypt, but no. So we'll come back through here, and we have a hammer now. There was this patch of wall. Let me try using the hammer on that patch of wall. Oh. I didn't use the hammer. Use the hammer on what? On the wall. You attack the stone wall with the hammer. A shock runs up your arm even as the stone crumbles, revealing an opening. Right, go through it. You force yourself through the narrow opening and into the darkness beyond. Cold air rushes down into this chamber, no doubt from the opening in the rocky walls above. And we got a bunch of bones on the ground. Is that a spear? The fletching on this arrow looks a bit tattered, but its silver arrow tips looks to be in good condition. Oh, the silver arrow, you say? You put the arrow in your satchel. You believe that you can see a few small spiders hiding within the sockets of the skull. I'm gonna take a skull. Take one of these like arm bones. Yeah. I'm gonna take a skull and a bone, just in case we might need them. There's a hole over here. Anything else floating around in here? No, just a lot of bones. Passage in the back. You sense a furtive movement within the darkness of the opening. Something or someone is definitely up there. You travel. As you scramble up the rocks, a goblin appears, levels a bow at you, and fires. Fortunately, it misses and hits the rock at your feet. Unfortunately, the arrow ricochets and embeds itself into your left eye.
"'Tis a sad thing that your adventures have ended here."
No, it's not. We're fine. Let's resume and not go up into the rock wall again. Alright, we have to hit the wall with the hammer one more time. Alright, force ourselves through the narrow opening. We'll take the silver arrow again. And a couple of bones. Can we talk to the skull? You shake the skull and hear bone bits rolling around within. Take the skull, take the bone, and go this way instead. You stand at the edge of a lava-filled chasm. Impossible as it seems, the faint, terrified screams of some unfortunate soul echo within the depths. What's this? This half-buried carved stone appears to be a keystone. Okay. This metal brazier has a wide bowl mounted on a tripod. The legs look like a series of inverted hooks poorly welded together. Okay. There's the torch on it. Despite your best efforts, the brazier refuses to light. Okay. The rickety bridge is held together with nothing but frayed rope and wrought wood planks. As if in warning, a mounted skull stands guard in front of it. Yeah, probably don't want to go that way. Let's head up this way. A dense fog greets you as the stone passage opens into a small chamber. The temperature plummets as the creature materializes in front of you. It flinches from the light of your torch. Does it? A couple of torches on the wall here. Those. Use the torch on the wraith. With a cry, you swing the lit torch at the wraith. The ethereal being is instantly enveloped in a bright flash of flame, its tortured moan hanging in the air as it vanishes. So we have another pumpkin here. As you grasp the large horn thing, it becomes painfully clear that it is a pumpkin. This thing. This rune is firmly attached to the wall, glowing with power. Truly, this must have belonged to one of the wizards of the circle. Okay. I don't think there's anything we can do with that yet. Can we open this door? With a creak of protest, the door opens. Yorick wakes from a nap. Mushrooms! I dreamt of mushrooms. Does that mean anything? Not here, I don't think. Whether it be a sewer or a reservoir system for the castle, mold, mildew, and moss bespeckle the stones within this chamber. Now, it appears we have found the sewers. Looks like there's a hatch in the ceiling. The iron door is latched shut by nothing more than a simple bolt. Can you open it? You pull back the bolt, opening the hatch. Okay. We have some other stuff over here. The glass bottle is empty. May be useful. I'll take an empty bottle and the scroll. As you read the scroll, one particular word stands out from the rest. Entrace. In your mind's eye, you see a glyph glowing with power. As you write down the strange marking in your spellbook, the scroll crumbles in your hands. You have learned a spell. Okay. What's this thing? The strong metal bar appears to have come loose from a sewer grate. Can we take it? Yes, we take the bar. Can we pass through here? You strain your muscles pulling on the grate. It simply will not budge. Okay. Oh, there's some glyphs in the wall or something. Their meaning strangely familiar, the letters E, P, O, and R have been carved into the wall. E-pour. I bet that means something. Can we climb up from here? Can. You jump and manage to find a handhold within the hatchway. After a frantic moment or two, you manage to pull yourself through. Multi-keybind objects. Yeah, you can hotkey items. Yeah, not so important as a lot of things get used once, but some do get used repeatedly, so... Was there more dialogue there that the text box interrupted? Oh yeah. You jump and manage to find a handhold within the hatchway. After a frantic moment or two, you manage to pull yourself through. This room reminds you of the Elven funhouse at King Otto's Fair. You remember taking your sister, hoping to lose her in the reflective maze. And yes, we have 6 mirrors here, and 3 torches we may as well add to our pack. Oh, we have earned the Torchbearer achievement. Yay. Mirror. The surface on this mirror appears warped in an odd way. Either that, or your hips really are that big. You catch some movement behind your reflection. You jump back in surprise before looking around the room. Although dusty, the surface of this mirror casts a fine reflection of yourself. As you look at your reflection in the mirror, it bulges out a bit as if something is pushing it from the other side. You admire the dashing figure you see in the mirror. Last, the reflection in the mirror is a distorted image of yourself. Your head looks much larger than the rest of your body. Alright, do you have anything else in here? A bunch of rocks. The large boulder has veins of quartz running through it. Large rock sits squarely on the floor. Large boulder has veins of quartz running through it. And I have a hammer. You attempt to smash the rock pile with the hammer. The bone-jarring hit does little to affect the rock. Okay, so we can't mine any quartz out of here. But, yeah, so here we are in the Hall of Mirrors. Let's head out of here for now. You attempt to go through the opening behind you. A large block of cold granite blocks the way. Oh dear. Down. Get out of the sewers either. We lower ourselves through the opening in the floor. Hopping back a few rooms here. Back into the antechamber, I believe it was, and I would think we'll leave this part off here. And yes, next time we will continue to find our way through the underbelly of Castle Shadowgate here. So yeah, until then, thank you all for watching. I hope you all had fun, and goodbye.